Hello everyone, this is Edwin at Motor Village LA, your Fiat specialist. I'm going to be uploading a few videos over the next few days, a couple short clips to go over the car and answer any questions that I know some of you may have. And I'm just going to go ahead and start off with the engine and a bunch of standard safety features and performance. So I'm sure as you all know, this is the 1.4 multi-air engine, 101 horsepower, 98 torque. Standard features, and this is for the Pop, Sport, and Lounge, are anti-lock brakes, stability control, traction control, electronic brake distribution, and brake assist. Now, a lot of people don't know what that is, so I'm going to go ahead and just describe those a little bit for you so you know exactly what you're getting. So the anti-lock brakes, all that does is that it pumps the brakes really quickly, and whenever you press them pretty hard, to keep them from locking. And there's a pretty common misconception that will shorten the stopping distance. That's not totally true, but the whole point of that is to allow you to steer out of an emergency situation. Kind of like that would be the traction control. Unlike the anti-lock brakes, instead of keeping the wheels from locking, it keeps the wheels from spinning when you're accelerating, and that just gives you a lot better traction in any condition, really. Now, the stability control, what that does is, let's say you had to swerve out of an emergency situation and the vehicle starts to go sideways on you or possibly, go into a roll. What that does is it applies brakes to individual wheels to keep the car as straight as possible and keep any accidents from happening. The brake assist, what that does is in an emergency situation, what happens is you step on the brake as hard as you can or as quickly as you can, but sometimes that's not enough. So what the car is going to do is recognize that, and then as soon as you hit the brake, it's going to go ahead and give you the full brake to minimize your stopping distance, or should I say maximize? Well, you guys understand. That's just simply how that works. Now, the electronic brake distribution, that's something that a lot of people are not aware of, and it's pretty simple. What that does is the car knows which side of the car to apply more brakes to. And that really depends on how much weight there is in that particular part of the car. So if you got just a driver, most likely the brakes are going to be applied to the front side or be biased to the front side of the car. But if you've got a driver and let's say a lot of cargo in the back, then the brakes will be applied more to the rear, or they can be evenly distributed. The whole point of that is you want to have the brakes applied to whatever wheel has the most traction, and the wheel with the most traction will always be the one with the most weight. So that's what that does. And that's standard on all three. There's no additional fees, it's not an extra. So it's pretty nice that Fiat's thrown that in. So let's go over a couple of the safety features inside. Now, I'm sure you've all heard of the knee airbag. And that is true. You get the driver airbag, passenger airbag, current airbags on both sides, and you have shoulder or side airbags for the front passengers. But you also get a knee airbag, a little additional safety there. But these airbags aren't your typical airbags. They are a little more advanced than you may or may not know of. So what these do is, I've seen a lot of people, especially women, try to sit pretty far back because they've heard of people getting injured by the airbags and black eyes and whatnot. But the truth is that these airbags are pretty smart to know how much pressure to deploy them at so that you don't have to get injured as much or try to avoid injury as much as possible. So if you've ever driven in one of these cars and let's say you got a passenger in the passenger side and it starts beeping at you, let you know that there's no seatbelt on, that's a sensor for the seatbelt, but there's also a sensor in there for the seat. That's how it knows that you've got a passenger, but they're not wearing an airbag. So the sensor in the seat lets the car know, first of all, how heavy the person is, but also the car knows how close to the front of the car the person is, and that's for driver and passenger. So for a smaller person, they'll be a little smaller, lighter, they'll sit a little closer, so the car knows that, and when the airbag is deployed, it'll deploy enough to keep you safe without harming you, and that's for both passengers. Same goes for the side airbags. Those only deploy in situations where it's necessary, so side impact and rollover, those will deploy. And the purpose of that is, first of all, to keep glass and any debris from coming into the car, but also to keep passengers in the car and keep them from flying out, because most fatalities occur when a passenger is flown out of the car. So that's good to have and very important. I mean, a lot of people don't know how those work. Now, as far as if you got kids, there are child anchors in the back seats there. I don't know if you can see those. But there are markers in the back for the child anchors, the latch system, and also in the back. I'm sure you can see those back there. It's a little dark, you can't really tell. Oh, there you go. You can see that there. And it's important to know that because I had a customer last week that was considering a Mini Cooper and then discovered that there was no way to fit a car seat in the back. Not because of the room, but because the car seat physically wouldn't fit through the door in the seat. I mean, it just wasn't possible. If you've got kids and you want to know about this, he fits the car seat in here, no problem. So if you've got kids, it's really important to know this. And I think most seats fit in there. I mean, it was a Recaro seat and had plenty of room. Now, I'm going to go ahead and end this video now. I just went over some safety features and conveniences for families and just safety. But I'll be uploading another video as far as the tech and some of the performance features. And also pricing. So for now, thank you for your time and keep checking back.